Hi everyone, my name's Lisa Ryan and I'm a Thermomix consultant and I run my pages Lisa's Thermo Cooking Journey on both Facebook and Instagram. Today's video is to show you the basics of the TM6. Whether you are brand new to owning a TM6, you might have gone through these with your consultant on delivery, whether that be face-to-face or virtual, or whether you're yet to get a TM6 and you're watching this out of curiosity, I hope that this helps. It might also help some of you that are a TM6 owner and you just want a little bit of a refresher training on the basics. So first of all, I'm just going to go through what is included with your TM6, the base of it, the bowl, and then I'm going to go through and tell you what the names of each parts are and how to put the bowl, blade and lid set together. Okay, so on your TM6, this is the base. This is called the selector button. And there's your fully digitalized screen. So it's all a touch screen there. And then you've got your bowl here. So your bowl has three parts to it. So you've got the bowl itself, the blade down in the bottom there. And then you've also got the base of the bowl. So first of all, I'm going to show you how to put your bowl, blade and lid set together. I find a lot of comments on my page, people are not taking their bowl apart. Whilst the self-clean on the Thermomix is fantastic to be able to clean it, you still want to be able to take your bowl and blade apart so that you can see if there's any food caught underneath the blade. It's also a good idea to separate it if you're putting it in the dishwasher as well so it gets a thorough clean. I'm not sure if it's a lack of confidence for people not taking their bowl, blade and lid apart or whether they haven't been shown correctly, but I hope that this helps if you're not currently doing it. So I find the best way is to hold the top of the blade with your fingers so that it's not anywhere near the bottom of the blade, so just that top little knob. And then I like to put the handle against me and then I cut my fingers into the bottom of the base and I'm holding the blade underneath. And all you need to do is turn anti-clockwise, pull the base off, and then I simply turn over and pull the blade out. That's how you're going to separate it so that you can get all of the food particles that might get stuck underneath the blade. So do the reverse to be able to put your bowl and blade together. Pop your blade in. Then again, hold the nozzle, the knob up the top so that it doesn't fall out when you turn it over. Again, I like to place it against me because it's nice and easy. Cup your fingers in this part. This time you're going to go anti-clockwise from the handle. Cup your fingers in and then just turn straight so that your base matches up with your handle. And then just give your blade a little pull just to make sure it's in correctly. So that's how you put the blade in and out of your bowl. So in your bowl, whilst we're looking at that, there's measurements in the side there. So the first dot is 500 mils. Then you've got the 1 symbol, which is 1 litre. 1.5 is the next dot. 2 is the 2 litre mark, and your maximum is 2.2 litres in your bowl. So that just sits in the cradle like this. And then your lid is all one part. So the silicone piece in this is attached to the lid. This can sometimes stain with some of the turmeric and the curries that we cook. You can simply put it out in the sunshine and that will return to clear as well. When I put my lid on, I always make sure that the silicone is just in front of the bowl so that you're not damaging this silicone because it's all part of the lid. And then you just pop down like that. The measuring cup with the TM6, new improved measuring cup which stays in the bowl. So it's got these little nodules out here that actually sit in. So when you push it in, and then that allows the steam pockets to still come out. But when you take the lid off, it's not going to fall out of the lid, which is fantastic. So if you do own a TM5, you can upgrade to the TM6 measuring cup and then it won't fall out of your TM5. So with your lid and your measuring cup, you just pop that on, as I say, and that will just click in. The arms are automatic and they're automatically going to close onto the bowl, so you never adjust the arms manually. Talking of names, so this is your lid, that's called the measuring cup. And then the other components that come with your TM6 are your internal steaming basket. So the TM6 has the lid attached to it as well, which just simply sits into the bowl. So when you're placing that in, you can use your fingers, but when you're taking it out after you're steaming or cooking products in there, really important to use the spatula that comes with your TM6. It's got this little hook here, and the easiest way is I hold onto the handle, hook it in, and then pull it up, And then when you put it in the dish, you would just push against it. Usually I would put it in my thermo server and you can just push it off. You don't generally need to use your hands if you're putting it into a bowl, but make sure you use that hook. So just to show you there, nice and easy. So it's just hooking in there and then hooking out, so that little piece there. So just make sure you're always using your spatula to safely get your internal steaming basket out of the Thermomix. So the other great thing about the spatula is when you pop it on the bench, it's been designed so it doesn't sit right on the bench. And it's also been designed with this guard here so that you don't ever get this caught up in the blade. So when you're cooking, say you're making a fruit sorbet and it says with the assistance of your spatula, you're actually going to put it through there and move it round like this, but that guard is actually going to stop your spatula from hitting the blades. So really well designed to be able to assist in moving anything around the bowl. So that's your spatula. Now I'll take the lid off and show you this. So this is called a butterfly whisk. And this one goes in behind your top blade and runs towards your blunt blade. And then when you pull it up, you can't pull it off. If you tried to go the other way, it just comes straight off. So make sure you're going behind your higher blade and then turning anti-clockwise towards the blunt blade, and then it will stay in. It's really important that when you're using your butterfly whisk that you don't go past speed 4. If you're using a guided recipe, it will always tell you to do speed 4 as a maximum. But if you're using a manual recipe, just make sure that you don't go past speed 4 because it could actually damage your butterfly whisk. So the new addition to the TM6 is the Splatter guard, which is this one here. This is fantastic because if you're cooking something with high heat, the recipe will often tell you to put the splatter guard on there to stop any oil spitting out, but also allow the steam to come out of your Thermomix bowl. So that actually just sits straight on top of the lid. And then when your Thermomix is on, the arms will actually close over to keep that in place. If the recipe tells you to put the steaming basket on top of the lid, you actually sit it up there like that. So say you're making a jam or chutney or relish or something like that, it might ask you to put the steaming basket on top. That's stopping the splatter as well, but allowing all that steam to escape so that your jam's not going to bubble over the sides. So the other part that comes with your Thermomix, of course, is your Varoma. So the Varoma sits onto the lid of the Thermomix, straight there onto the little spots there. And then you've got 3 parts to your Varoma. So you've got your standard bowl, and then you've got the Varoma tray, and then you've got the lid. So this holds 3.3 litres of food up here. You can either use it with or without the steaming tray. You could just put it straight like that. And fill that with vegetables, just making sure that you've got a small section in the middle here so that you don't fully cover those steam vents so that the steam can still come up. If you're using the tray, you could put vegetables in there and then say meat up the top or egg up the top. If you want to, you can use baking paper, which is wet, and then line that up here so that it's not dripping into your tray underneath. Or you could purchase the pre-cut papers from the mix shop, which will allow you to do that as well. So that's called your Varoma. So they're all the parts that come with the Thermomix and the names of them. And now I'm just going to show you what I would show my clients when I deliver a Thermomix to their home, or if I do it virtually. I'm going to show you the basics on the Thermomix screen as well. So first of all, you've got what I like to call the home screen. So when you're cooking in manual mode, whichever of these round circles that you select, whichever one's the largest is the one that you're working on at that time. So everything is used by the selector button here. So if you're running time, you'd run up or down by moving your selector button around for time. If you're wanting to manual cook and do temperature, you go up and down with the temperature. The temperature starts at 37 degrees and it goes all the way up to Varoma. Now, often in recipes, you'll find that it either says Varoma or steaming temperature. That's one and the same thing there. So we can just go back around. And then if I select the speed, it starts at a stir function and then it goes right around to speed 10. Now, also this little icon here. So when it's on the blade, that means that it's running in a clockwise direction, which is the sharp blade. So it is going to cut and chop and mill things up. If you press on that little icon and you get the green symbol, which is the reverse arrow, that will mean that it goes in clockwise direction, which is the blunt blade. So it's more going to stir rather than chop at the same time. So that's your home screen. And then if you swipe to the left, then you've got all the different modes that your TM6 offers. So you can click on the scales and you can use the scales at any time, whether you're cooking or not. Just use the tare function on that one to go back to 0, and then you would weigh from there. Okay, so you can go into any of these and have a read about that function. So if you press on the thicken and then press on the little icon up the top here, it will tell you exactly what that mode does. So there's lots of different options in there. So have a click on some of your modes, and you'll be surprised at the offerings through those different modes. So just to take it off green, just select on that again. So, and this is the pre-clean mode, which everybody loves. So after you finish cooking in your Thermomix, you can go ahead and choose the option which cleans your bowl based on what you've been cooking. So again, if you press a little icon up here, that will run you through which cleaning mode would best suit what you've been cooking. So there is a temperature difference depending on what you've cooked in your actual bowl, and you can choose based on that which one you'd like to go for, and it's just simply a matter of turning the selector dial. So I'm just going to go out of that one again and swipe left again. The modes are up and down now after the most recent update to the machine as well. So you can just swipe up and down now rather than left. To go back to the home screen, you just hit that little home function in the top. And then if you select these 3 lines, this gives you all the other choices in your Thermomix as well. So my recipes here, you can add bookmarks and created collections in your Cookidoo account on your computer or your laptop or one of your devices, your phone or iPad. And you can create collections. You can name them whatever you like, and then they'll be here straight on the screen for you to be able to click on, rather than having to search each recipe from Cookidoo. So if you've got favorites that you use on your weeknights each week, you can make a collection with those and then just click on that each time. So if I just go to the back button, and also bookmarks and save collections, you can save whole cookbooks in there as well. So that's a really easy way to organize your week. In My Week, you can actually select in Cookidoo on your device to cook a recipe on a particular day. So if, for example, you went in and decided today you were going to cook the Brazilian cheese puffs, you would go and add those to your week on your device. Select today's date, and it's going to be sitting in here for you. So nice and easy so that you don't have to search on your machine. Recently cooked is a great function that I like, because particularly if you're cooking things regularly, again, you can just click on the item that you've cooked. We cook porridge a couple of times a week, so you can just select porridge there and not have to search for that as well. Then in the settings, I always like to let people know what's in here. So language and country, you're usually going to use the same. If you change your Wi-Fi, you'd select the Wi-Fi option there and put your new Wi-Fi details in. Your Cookidoo account is the next one. So again, if you were to change that, you would do it in there. Sounds and display, this allows you to change the volume and the duration or the melody of the chime that sounds when your step has finished. So you can do that in that function. And then in the display, you can also change the display if you want to. So there's white or dark in there. The keyboard layout, you can have a bit of a play with that. Transportation mode, if you are transporting your Thermomix to another house, or it's going in the car for any reason, or in the caravan, you do need to put it into transportation mode. I have made another video on that, so if you're not sure how to do that, check in on that, but it's super simple. Just put your bowl in and then press transportation mode and then turn it off via the selector. That's going to lock the arms into place so that it's nice and safe. You can change the system of measurement, but that will update if you're using an American recipe. It will update in there, and then you can use your Google Translator to help you with the wording. Down the bottom here, you've got Thermomix version and update. On this screen, it will tell you the serial number. You can search for updates, but the updates will automatically come onto your machine once you get each update. That's the beauty about the TM6, is every software update they do comes wirelessly to your machine. And factory reset, we don't want to touch that unless someone from Thermomix suggested that you do, so you should never need to touch that. So we're just going to go to the back button there. So that's the main function here. And then of course, to use Cookidoo, which has got over 70,000 recipes, I believe now, all you need to do is do the little magnifier in the corner there, and you can search any of those 70,000 recipes on the screen there, and just scrolling up and down using your finger on the screen. Everything's touch screen. Okay, so I hope that helps with the basics of the Thermomix. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to contact me. Check out my other videos on YouTube, and I've got plenty of live videos that you can check out on Facebook as well. Thanks, bye.